One of our favourite tools over at Team 2Bs is Canva. It really helps us to keep our social media visuals looking great, matching to our brand, and helps actually with some ideas if you're a bit stuck for what to share. Now, it's a very simple product and it's one of those freemium tools, so lots of it is free and some of it you'll pay a premium for, usually just around $1 to use certain images or graphics. So let's have a look under the hood. When you log into Canva, it's basically full of templates for any kind of image that you would want to create, whether it be for online, for social media, presentations, or even for email marketing or offline promotional tools. It starts off with the most popular at the top, but if you click on more, it will open up templates for every type of design you can think of. This means that no matter where you're publishing your image, you can be confident that it's exactly the right dimensions and style for the platform that you are going to be posting it on. And once you've created your imagery, every time you come back in, your library will be waiting for you. So for this example, I'm going to select the social media icon. This is a template you'll find yourself using often because it's very handy to be able to create that square image that you can share on multiple social networks. The first thing you'll want to do is decide on the layout and style of your graphic. There are lots to choose from here, and as you can see, lots are labelled free and some have a little dollar sign. You'll find that Canva often shows up graphics that are appropriate to the season, which is another way of them helping you get organised. You can see from the layout I've selected here that one of the elements is paid for. So this background image has a grid over it and a watermark telling me that if I want to use it, I would have to download and pay $1. So here I have a few options. I can search for free images. And use one of those instead. I could upload my own image and replace that in the background. Or I could go back into the layouts and just pick a different option. If you've uploaded or changed the image and you notice that the colouring looks a little different, just check that there's not been a filter added to that layout. It will keep the style of the original layout. Now here you'll notice I now have white text over a pretty white image. So I'm going to highlight that text and change the colour. I can select some of the colours that have been identified for this layout. And I can also just click plus and pop in my own branded colours so that as much as possible it matches with your brand guidelines. You can also update and change the fonts. There are a wide choice of fonts available, so the chances are you'll be able to find one that is appropriate for your brand. But if not, we would recommend that you just head straight for Open Sans. It's the most common web font and is less likely to jar with your branding. Speaking of branding, you can also upload your logo. Resize it and drag and drop it into the appropriate place. This is great if you're planning to share graphics on your social media or online that always have your branding on them. One of the things that we love about Canva is it can be very difficult to start with a blank page when it comes to sharing graphics. So here, by using some of their templates, they already kickstart the ideas phase and you've got something to work with. However, if you do want to start from scratch, there are lots and lots of things that you can choose from to make your image really sing. So instead of picking a layout this time, I'm going to go for the backgrounds I'm just going to select one of the free options. Why not go for a little bit of hive action, shall we? Okay, so that's going to be my background. If I select elements, I can now choose from all of these different options. And this means that you're not having to design from scratch. Now you may want to include a picture in your graphic. You have two options here. Select an appropriate grid. This is useful if you want to use multiple images. It just pops into the perfect size, you've still got your nice background, and you would drag and drop and fill in the spaces. Another option is to select a particular frame. Here we go from some quite complicated, some very simple, and it will depend on the style of your brand and the style of the update you want to share. For this example, I'm going to use the tag. You'll notice that when I click on it, I can also change the colours. Once you've decided on the appropriate image, you might want to add some text to your graphic. Again, they've organised some really stylised options for you. Some of them within stamp styles, some just free-forming text. And if you do want that simple style, all you need to do is select heading, and then it's completely up to you. You pick your font, you pick the size, and you pick the colour. You may want to add other little flourishes like lines, to break up the text. And if you decide that it's all getting a little bit too messy, you can go back to the drawing board. Whatever you decide to do with your graphic, as soon as it's ready, you can select to download, and your options are PNG files, PDFs or JPEGs. And as long as you haven't used any paid elements, you can just click to download and save.